Good evening, everyone. Let us now chant Namo Tassa to commence with the study. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. We have discussed within the past 2 weeks, we've gone through the introduction to the Abhidhamma, we have gone through the unwholesome consciousnesses as well as the rootless consciousnesses, right? Now, today we are going to go into the study of the sense sphere beautiful consciousnesses. If you may turn to page number 46 on the Comprehensive Manual of Abhidhamma, version year 2000. Now, for one who has understood the way that we went through the unwholesome consciousnesses as well as the rootless consciousnesses of the three categories, one would now be able to better understand the way that the study of the consciousnesses should be, the way that it should be approached, the way that the dispensation of the Dhamma within the Abhidhamma, how that is done, right? So within the Kama Vacha realm, right, within the sense sphere, all consciousnesses except the unwholesome and the rootless are beautiful consciousnesses, right? This in Pali is called Sobhana Chittas, right? But within the whole compendium of consciousnesses elucidated within the Abhidhamma, all consciousnesses of all planes, excluding the rootless as well as the unwholesome chittas or unwholesome consciousnesses, fall into the category of beautiful or sobhana chittas, right? So you would understand that from now on, what we are going to study within the sense sphere realm, the material realm, the immaterial realm, and the supramundane consciousnesses all belong to the category or come under the category of beautiful consciousnesses. I hope that you have found the page number 46. Right. Now, can I request one of you to read the Pali for us, please? Does anyone want to use the clap emoji or the hands up to volunteer? Veera, could you do it for us, please? Yes. All right.
Okay. You want the Pali?
The
one,
Pali,
yeah.
Veera.
There are 8 consciousness. The first one is Somanasa Sahagata, Jnana Samprayukta, Asankarika consciousness. Yeah. Somanasa Sahagata, Jnana Samprayukta, Sasankarika. Somanasa Sahagata, Jnana Samprayukta, Jnana Viprayukta, Asankarika. And Somanasa Sahagata, Jnana Viprayutta Sasankarika.
Yes.
That's
Wonderful.
the first 4.
Yes.
And next 4 is Upeksha Sahagata.
Veera,
Yeah.
Pali, huh? Pali pronunciation, please.
Okay.
Not Singha.
Upeksha Sahagatam.
Okay.
Upeksha Sahagatam. Jnana Samprayuktang Asankarikang Ekam.
Wonderful.
Upeksha Sahagatam.
Again, Upekha.
Upekha Sahagatam. Jnana Samprayuktang.
Jnana Sampayuktam.
Samprayuktang.
Tongue.
Yeah.
Tongue.
Because the M with dot is pronounced as
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a 6th one. That's Sasankarikang
Yes.
Ekam.
Yes.
Then 7th one is Upeksha Sahagatang.
Yeah.
Jnana Viprayuktam
Yeah.
Asankarikam Ekam.
Yes. Okay.
8th one is Upeksha Sahagatang.
Yeah.
Jnana Viprayuktam
Yeah.
Sasankarikam Ekam.
Wonderful.
T. Ekam T.
Wonderful. Thank you. Wonderful. Now, now when we are, now if you would look at page number 46, right? Please turn to page number 47, please. Right? Table number 1.4. Right? Table number 1.4. Now, we have gone through the sensations, right? The Vedana we call in Pali. And now through the Pali, we understand that the Sobhana consciousnesses arises associating two sensations. What are the two? Somanasa, or happiness, and or joy, and upeka, equanimity, right? Now, with regards to Sobhana, right, now these Sobhana consciousnesses or these beautiful consciousnesses are all associated in the act, karma, of doing something which is wholesome and good, right? Wholesome and good. Even with regards to now this beautiful consciousnesses that we go through in the sense sphere, what we will be going through today, there is the wholesome beautiful, there is the resultant beautiful, as well as the functional beautiful, right? Now within the functional, now that is karmically indeterminate, right? It is now, and the vipaka is a process, or it is a process of experiencing a past karma, which is again through a consciousness of goodness, wholesomeness. The karma that we develop, the kusala beautiful or the wholesome beautiful consciousnesses that Veer has just read for us, are the consciousnesses which are very much active in the process of us doing meditation, right? Of offering something, offering some sort of offering, care, compassion, all of those good things arise from these 8, one of these 8 consciousnesses, right? That is important to understand, right? So let us look at the consciousnesses, right? The first one being Somanasa Sahagatang Jnana Sampyutang Asankharikang Ekam, right? Going on to the translation, one consciousness accompanied by joy associated with knowledge unprompted, right? So what would this mean? Please get ready, try to think of some sort of examples for yourself as well. I would very much like for you to come up with some examples and just share it with the class so that you do think and you do understand it a little bit better. So one consciousness accompanied by joy. So surely this act that we are committing is an act arising or rooted in joy, right? Associated with knowledge. And there is also wisdom here, right? So you know whatever good that you are doing, you know whatever benefits of good, you know what they are, you know whatever act that you're doing is going to bring something, a benefit to another or for yourself in a very wholesome manner, right? Not in a greed manner, but in a very wholesome manner, right? And then it's unprompted, asankarika. It is unprompted, it is almost happening spontaneously. You have a habit of doing such things, maybe, or this is something that you didn't have to think much. You were so elated in mind, you had so much of happiness and joy in mind that you absolutely wanted to do it without any thought, any sort of need for further consideration, right? So this act, what can it be, right? What can it be? Now, what can it be? I'm just All right. So if we are to think of an example for this kind of act, this is an act of, let us say, accompanied by joy, associated with knowledge, unprompted, right? A devotee, right? A devotee offers the Buddha alms, knowing the benefits of such offering, unprompted, without any sort of promptitude, without any sort of push from another. The thought to offer the Buddha alms arises, and she does so without any further thought about it, whilst knowing the benefit of offering such offerings to the Buddha, right? So it is this sort of a, it is a sort of, it is a powerful karma that one does through this consciousness. Now, let us go on to the other consciousness. One consciousness accompanied by joy, associated with knowledge, now prompted. What does this prompted mean? So the Pali would go as Somnasa Sagata Jnana Sampyutta Sasankarika. Right? I hope that you do come back to the Pali. It is not difficult. It is only a couple of words. If you do go through the Pali, you can form it on your own. If you understand the way that it is formed, you can very easily form it on your own without any sort of doubt or hassle. Right? So now the only difference between the first consciousness and the second is the person committing a similar act, but now the person must sort of remind or push oneself or even prompt oneself to do it, right? This could even be, for example, let us say now, sometimes when you have to take alms to the monastery in the morning, you have to keep an alarm, wake yourself up. When you're waking yourself up, you remind yourself why you're waking yourself up, isn't it? Right? Oh, I had to get up, I can't be in bed any longer, I had to take alms for the monks, right? Now that is a sense of promptitude also, right? That is a sense of promptitude also. You're prompting yourself, you're reminding yourself. So getting up out of bed itself is a kusala karma for that specific reason. But now you're prompting, you're reminding yourself, oh, this is why I should get out of bed. I do not have time to waste in bed, right? I must get up right this instance, right? So can we have someone to volunteer to give us an example for the third consciousness, which is Somanasa Sagatan Jnana Vipayuttang Asankarikang Ekam? Who would like to do it? Shriyani, would you like to try? Shriyani, would you like to try? Give it a go, Shriyani?
No.
No? Are you sure? Yeah? Okay. Who would like to? Samantha?
Yeah.
So Samantha is the third
Yeah.
consciousness.
I was thinking of, like, say I'm doing the shopping for my parents, right? Under the current climate. So that comes with Sermonasa. accompanied, disassociated from knowledge. So that's without wisdom.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, practical could be, because, yeah, okay, without wisdom.
Not knowing, I suppose, it just came up.
Yes.
And unprompted, I did it out of my own will.
Yeah, unprompted. And you just spontaneously, you took it up and you did it, right?
Yeah.
So in the unprompted, so in the third consciousness, there is a nature of sort of, you're doing it because you have to, or you're doing it because you're just doing it. You do not think too much about it. That is why I think even yesterday, and I think throughout these couple of weeks, I've been sort of, time to time, I've been saying, even your home duties and responsibilities, bring it into, or do it in a way that you're doing it with some sort of aim, isn't it? I've told you repeatedly through the week. So because now you see, when it's jnana sampayutta, the kusala is stronger. Right? When it's jnana vipayutta, you're doing it. The kusala is weaker though, because you don't have knowledge, you don't have wisdom operating in it, right? And
sorry, Bhante. Yes. What's that? Jnana something you said? Vitti and jnana something you said?
Jnana sampayutta, jnana vipayutta. You have to,
what does that mean? Oh yeah. Sorry. Yes, sorry. The Pali word. Sorry. Sorry. I got it.
Pali word, very much the Pali word.
Yeah.
So that is why I've been repeatedly telling all of you to sort of bring your family, bring Dhamma into the responsibilities and all of these favors and all of these things that you would do for family, for friends, to bring it also under the scope of Dhamma, to not just do it because you have to, or it is a very much a thing that you usually do, right? Because it brings more push and force into you progressing in the path towards Nibbana, right? So Samantha, thank you very much, right?
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Thank you. Chamari, would you like to give the next one a go? Do you have the book with you, Chamari?
Yes, I have it on my desktop. So are we at the fourth one?
Yes, the fourth one is all yours, Chamari.
Okay, so with joy and with knowledge, if I did something when someone prompted, so I'm just thinking, so maybe somebody's saying, okay, this they're collecting donations for the Vesak, and and I heard about it, and somebody was saying, oh, I'm actually going to take this thing over there, would you like to actually join? And I would join, but with joyful feeling. Would that actually come under number 4?
Okay, so here we have to be specific. Okay, so the act, of course, with happiness, I make contribution to charity, right? For Baba, right? It's associated from knowledge, right? Without any consideration or without any knowledge, the benefits of the act, right?
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. I think I was doing number 2. So number 4 is I'm doing it because they are saying that they are doing it, and I'm used to doing things like that, but I'm not really thinking about the
benefits.
Benefits. Yeah.
Okay, but you're happy about it.
I'm happy about it.
Yes, that would be right, because the prompted is also there. Why? Because the friends are doing it, because the friends are doing it, and right, you're motivated because the friends are doing it. Thank you very much, Chamari.
Okay.
Right. Who else would like to go? Dhamminda, would you like to give it a go?
I just joined. Sorry about that.
Okay. Okay, you just joined. Okay, Dhamminda. Okay.
I was big.
Who else now? Dil, would you like to take have a go?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. So you have the 5th consciousness, Dil.
Yeah.
So those ones, the 5, 6, 7, 8 is really a repetition of 1, 2, 3, 4. Only difference is without it being Somanasa Sahagatam, which is with joy, you are now going to be accompanied with equanimity.
Yeah.
So
Please don't do all. Just do one. Just do the sixth one. Okay. The fifth one.
Yeah. So the fifth one would be with equanimity, right? And associated. So because that one is dana sampada. So it is associated with knowledge. So I know that the dana which I'm going to give is a wholesome thing. So I know that. And it is here, the fifth one is asankarikam ekam. So therefore, this is associated, but it's unprompted. So I didn't have to be, I kind of spontaneously did it without having anyone else to tell me or my mind to keep on telling me to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this kind of action, this kind of consciousness can arise. Now, let us say sometimes you take alms to the temple very often. Sometimes, let's take that example. You take alms very, very often. Maybe a whole week you're taking alms to the temple, or in that sort of a way. And now, of course, towards the end of it, or now you're very used to, so you have a sense of equanimity. It is very much like a practice, a habit for you, where you take alms. So it is not something that brings you so much of joy in a way, for example, but you're equanimous about it, right? And associated with knowledge, right? Associated with knowledge. So you know that whatever that you're doing is right. Now, if I may, thank you, dear, thank you. And if I may just give you another example, right? Another example, because it's equanimity, connecting it to meditation, right? Now the people who are doing this afterwards, try to connect it to meditation if you can, right? Just a bit of a, right? Connect it to meditation if you can. Now, one consciousness, I'm going to do Dill's one again. One consciousness accompanied by equanimity, associated with knowledge, unprompted. So how do you connect this to meditation? Accompanied by equanimity, associated with knowledge, right? One observes the breath without attachment or disattachment, right? So equanimity, right? Associated with knowing the benefits of meditation, unprompted, and having meditation and not having spontaneously does get into, or here with regards to meditation, how can we say, one who is versed in meditation, he knows the ins and outs, how to practice it, right? He has the faith in him, all of that as well, right? So he meditates on anapana or breathing meditation. So there's equanimity there, with equanimity, right? Associated with knowledge, knowing very well the benefits of meditation, etc., right? And does it, right? Does it as a practice. When one does it, it is unprompted. Because why? It arises spontaneously in him, because he has the faith, he has all the necessary aggregates working with the benefits of meditation. So he doesn't have to push himself to meditate. It is very much within his mind to sort of go into the meditation, right? Or it could also be something like this. We'll discuss things later. Okay, who wants to do the next one, the sixth one? A meditation example, please. Gaini, would you like to go?
So meditation example.
I'm sorry, Gaini, I made it a little bit difficult maybe, but you can do it.
Can you hear?
I can.
Okay.
I can.
So basically, equanimity, that means you do this meditation with I mean, not being really happy about it or not being really unhappy about it. So basically, it's like in the middle.
With the, you can just say with
equanimity.
Yes, with a feeling of
equanimity. Yeah, and knowing the benefits of it, so knows what's gonna bring for that person by doing meditation. And sasankarika means which means somebody is actually telling you to do that. So basically, somebody has prompted.
Mind. It can be one's mind also.
Your mind itself,
like pre-contemplation.
Yeah.
So Gayani, let's put it all together.
Yeah. So with equanimity, and with accompanied by
knowing the benefits.
Knowing the benefits, and without prompted.
Yeah, with
unprompted,
you can say, right? So this is now, for example, now this is an instance like, for example, okay, you're doing Vedananupassana, sensations meditations, right? Sensation meditation, and a sensation pops up, right? Your attention is to be around the chest, but there's a strong sensation popping up around the legs, a painful sensation maybe, right? A painful sensation maybe, right? But of course, you face this sensation with equanimity, right? Associate with knowledge, knowing, right, what surpassing or being victorious around this sensation, knowing how to manage it, knowing the benefits of it, right? And prompted, right? Prompting the mind how to react to this sensation. Right now, this is now the reason I'm like twisting and trying to get is because I think this is then the consciousness that arrives at that kind of a moment, right? Good. Now, seventh one. Can I have Miri? Miri.
Yeah, Bhante. So this would be somebody who is.
Shall we read the consciousness first, Miri?
Yes. So this is a equanimous one. You want me to say it in Pali first?
Whatever, Miri.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a upeka sahagatam, jnana viprayuktam, asansarikam ekkam.
Yes.
So that is, it means that it's one is equanimous about it, but they don't know the advantages of it. So if you take say somebody who's not a Buddhist, who wants to do some meditation, they don't really know what the advantages or the knowledge that it can bring, but they are quite calm about it and want to give it a go. And nobody's prompting them, but they sit and they do it themselves. But they don't really realize what an advantage it will bring them.
Okay. Okay. The one thing, Miri, with regards to that example, because you mentioned that they are not Buddhists, that they don't know what, all of that, right? What is then prompting them? Because if they don't have previous conditioning, if I may use that word, conditioning to do or to behave or to do the practice, right? What would then sort of put them into the situation where they sit down and meditate is then a question. Because it is unprompted, right?
Yeah, it's unprompted, yes.
Right.
So they are unprompted, but they want to give it a go.
Sorry?
They had, they just felt like giving it a go.
The giving it a go is prompted. They want to give it a go. That is pre-contemplation.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what can you do for that, Miri?
Well, maybe it's somebody who is who has meditated in the past then and has really not found much benefit from it. And then because they still really didn't have a knowledge about it, and they are fairly equanimous about it. They just thought they'll give it a go this time. And it's not prompted by anybody. Would that still be themselves prompting them?
Still be prompted.
Sorry, no, I can't think of anybody.
No, that's no problem. Okay, let's do it together, Mary. So one consciousness accompanied by equanimity, right? It is actually a bit of a hard one. Right? So one consciousness accompanied by equanimity, disassociated from knowledge, unprompted, right? Okay. A meditator meditates with a feeling of equanimity, not wanting any pleasure or not having any friction towards the practice, right? Right. Also not knowing the benefits of meditation, or not contemplating on the benefits of meditation, right? Not contemplating on the benefits of meditation, takes a deep breath in and releases the deep breath, right? In breath and out breath without any promptitude. Now that would be something that would arise from a consciousness like this, right? Because this wouldn't be a consciousness, Miri, I'm sorry, this is quite a hard one actually. This consciousness would not be specifically used for a person who is going to do a deep meditation, right? Because of the unprompted nature which is there. This would be, now for example, let's say you're stressed out at office, but these little techniques of meditation that you could use, or walking meditations or metta meditations or something like that, right? And almost because you've done it in the past, and because it has brought you some sort of happiness, and you know how that feeling of happiness could help you, right? Because of the habit that is there, you almost spontaneously, you take a deep breath in and you let it go. Now that is something that could happen here, right? You specifically putting yourself down to sit would always engage with jnana, would always engage with a prompted nature rather than an unprompted nature, right? Do we understand? Is that clear, Miri?
Yeah, can I just ask, Bhante, because it says dissociated from knowledge. Yes. In your example, you're saying that they knew in the past, they had done it. So they had some knowledge that it would bring some benefit.
Okay. So with regards to consciousness, now the thing is this. Now, you being to medical school, right? You have studied all of these things regarding the body and the body, right? Doesn't mean that all of that information is in your head right now, but you can think about it, contemplate on it, and sort of pull it out from somewhere, right? So just because we have done something in the past, now, for example, now, personally, yes, I know about meditation, but I am very much able to also do action without the associated with knowledge part. I can just do it spontaneously without thinking at all about it. Sometimes if it's a part of your timetable, you don't think too much about it. You come down in the morning, you go into the shrine room and you sit down and you meditate. You've been doing it for 10 years and you just continue doing it, right? Now, although you have the knowledge inside of you, it can very much a consciousness accompanied or disassociated, not accompanied, but disassociated from knowledge can very much arise. Understood, Miri?
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Bhante. Yes, yeah. That's very good. Yes.
Yeah. So with regards to the Buddha's omniscience, there is a question within the Milinda Panya, and also the questions by King Milinda, and also in various parts of the Abhidhamma, where it questions whether the Buddha's omniscience is absolutely continuous, which is no, the Buddha's omniscience is not absolutely continuous, but the Buddha can, at any time, he can sort of think about something and get fathom the answer, right? fathom the answer. And that is how the omniscience also works, right? So we have a question from Paula. How about when a new meditator, okay, let me, Paula, I'm going to unmute your mic. Paula? Paula? Yes, I can hear you now. Do you want to ask your question so that everyone can know what your question is?
Well, it was just, I was just thinking of trying to think of an example, another example.
Okay, for the same one, for the seventh one?
Yeah, and I was wondering if somebody who meditates, perhaps they're new to meditation or they don't do a Buddhist meditation, but they have been practicing mindfulness, for example.
Yes.
And so perhaps they're not aware of sila. They're not aware of, you know, the ethics around it. And perhaps, say at work or in a family situation, somebody says something that irritates them or that annoys them. And perhaps in the past, before they meditated, they would have reacted badly. They would have reacted harshly. But they find themselves pausing and thinking and deciding not to react in a negative way. They might not even be aware that it's due to the fact that they have been meditating, that they have refrained from a harsh reaction. Okay. And they might not have even thought, oh, it's wise not to react badly. Do you see what I mean? But the benefit, the good action happened because they had been meditating in the past.
Yes.
And so the equanimous reaction wasn't associated with knowledge of ethics and it wasn't prompted, but it arose because of their practice of meditation that they had started.
Okay, so you are, so Paula, you are focusing, because you said prompted, then you are focusing on consciousness number 6.
No, I meant unprompted. So they didn't, they found themselves not reacting.
All right. So Paula, there are a couple of things, right? Feeling of equanimity, okay. So without any sort of friction or sort of pleasure, just a feeling of, you know, normalcy, a feeling of equanimity, right? That is all right, spot on. Disassociated from knowledge. Now, disassociated from knowledge, now even in the study of modern mindfulness or secular mindfulness, people do know that it sort of brings, or sort of people do know that it sort of helps with stress, that it is good for you, that it is good for well-being, mental health, right? So that part is there. So just to sort of say that it doesn't specifically necessarily need to be anything to do with sila, right? Okay. It basically, it is to do with sort of clear comprehension of what is going on, right? Clear comprehension of what is going on, right?
I see.
And then unprompted, right? Then unprompted would then be something which happens spontaneously. So again, so this person, as they sort of go on the path of practice, if this is the type of consciousness now, because they have practice and this sort of thought arises to them almost habitually now, right? So it is then unprompted, right? So that is that is the direction that we must be in then, Paula, right? Okay. So the sila, just because a person is not Buddhist, would not mean that that person is unable to experience a consciousness accompanied by knowledge. Yes? Well, is that clear, Paula?
I think so, thank you.
No, are you 100% sure, Paula?
Sorry?
Are you 100% sure on that? Is it clear?
100%.
No, why is it not 100% for you?
Well, let's think about this. And why is it not 100%?
Okay, think about it, Paula.
I think, yeah, okay.
Yeah, think about it at the end of after we finish this, we are going to open for questions. So then if it's still not clear, come back. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Wonderful, Paula. Thank you. All right. So then moving on. Now we've done the 7th consciousness, that is accompanied by equanimity, disassociated from knowledge and unprompted. Now it's the 8th consciousness, accompanied by equanimity, disassociated from knowledge and prompted, right? Who would like to do this? Manisha, would you like to do this?
Okay.
Wonderful, Manisha. Go right ahead.
Oh, right. Sorry, one moment. I just lost the... So say, for example, if you are a novice meditator,
okay,
and maybe you have meditated, say, 1 session, and you've attended a class at, say, the London Buddhist Society, and then you see a poster in the center prompting you to attend maybe a class led by a monk.
Okay.
And you take that class. So you're limited on knowledge. Yeah. Is that an example?
Yeah. That was a very lucky wing.
Sorry?
That was a very lucky wing, Manisha. Very good. Good. Yes, that would very much be. Can we think about something with regards to meditation, though?
Meditation.
One consciousness accompanied by equanimity, disassociate from knowledge. Now it is prompted, right? That is because it's prompted, it's quite easy actually. With regards to meditation, something that you would experience during meditation or while sort of attempting to meditate.
Is it something to do with the breath, like when you're...
Anything, Manisha, could be.
Oh, so you could have an experience when with your breathing, your inhalation and exhalation.
Okay. Okay. And you're on the right path. Go on.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, yeah. So you experience that. Yeah, you experience. So you're meditating. You have this experience with your breath, your inhalation, and you continue.
Disassociate from knowledge. How would we discern that emotion or that mind? So that experience, you might not know what that experience is about.
Yeah. So you've never had that experience before.
Yeah. And prompted?
Maybe someone encouraged you, or...
Don't go there. Go for your mind.
Oh, okay. Oh, for my mind. Okay. I'm not so sure about that.
So you have a meditative experience. Let's say it's through breathing meditation. You have a meditative experience that you do not know what it is about, right? But you prompt yourself. You try to keep yourself within the meditation subject.
Oh, right. I see.
Much like, for example, when you see the lights, right?
Right.
The lights, and then it could be something like that. Huh? When you see the lights, you have equanimity. You don't know what the hell these lights are, right? And what do? You prompt yourself, but you prompt yourself to keep to whatever it is that the guided meditation is telling you to do, or the basic meditation or the breath that you were initially focusing on. Yeah?
Okay, I see. Yes, thank you.
Got it? Wonderful, Manisha. Thank you very much. Right?
Thank you.
So those are the 8. So I think it was good that we sort of dwelled into the meditative parts of these consciousnesses, because now we know, yes, the kusala kamma or the mundane action that we would sort of go along is, I think, quite clear to all of you, having sort of done the akusala chittas and consciousnesses as well. But now you see, when it comes down to the meditation, I think it was a little bit more intricate than what we would usually sort of fathom in terms of a mundane experience, right? So these are the 8 types of sense sphere wholesome consciousnesses with roots. Now let us discuss roots, right? Let us discuss roots. Let us discuss roots. What are the roots? we are going to discuss this through question, right? How many, now out of these 8, right? Who am I going to ask? I'm just going to give you a warning so that you know, you get ready. Okay. Charita, get ready, huh? All right. So how many of these 8 have 3 roots? Now, what are the roots that affect these kusala or the beautiful sense sphere, beautiful consciousnesses? It should always, because it's beautiful, it should be either non-greed, non-hatred, or non-delusion, right? So, Charita, my question to you is, how many consciousnesses have 3 roots? Charita? Do you have it with you?
Yeah.
All right.
How many?
How many consciousnesses? Now we have discussed 8 consciousnesses here, right?
Yeah.
How many of these 8 have 3 roots? It could be a hard question because we've not discussed it before, but try. You can do it, Charita. Right? So 3 roots is alobha, adosa, amoha. Right? Non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion. Right? So what consciousnesses would have all 3 of these?
Something these ones.
4.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
No, that
I
is
think it's 4.
Probably 5, 6, and 7.
Probably 5, 6, and 7. Oh, yeah. Charita, why did you say 4? Why did you say 4?
For the first 4.
First
from
4.
1 to 4,
Wrong.
you have some kind of
You have
greed.
joy. Yeah, you have joy.
So for non-greed is what? Wisdom. I'm sorry, non-delusion is wisdom, right?
I think it's the last one.
Yeah, last 4.
Last one.
No.
The first one.
Right. So look at this. Okay. So now first let's take non-greed, right? Non-greed. So obviously non-greed is there because this is a wholesome act. It is not with clinging that it is done. It is through absolutely a generous mind in whatever way, right? There is non-greed. There is disattachment, right?
Okay.
And then there is, what's the second root, Charita?
Non-delusion.
Non-hatred.
Non-hatred.
Right? Adosa. So there clearly there is no hatred, no, right? Within these are beautiful consciousnesses, right? They have the feelings of joy, right? It is feelings of joy and equanimity. These are towards, so it is again, it will have adosa or non-hatred, right? So then so the last one, what is the last one, Charita?
Non-delusion.
Non-delusion.
Non-delusion. Right? The last one is non-delusion. So non-delusion, right? For non-delusion, so what does non-delusion mean? That there is wisdom, that there is knowledge. Right? Now I have given you the answer.
5th one. Just the 5th.
Who is answering? Me kotak na kattiya gaana me
I thought it's 5th one.
No. Now it is not just one consciousness, okay?
It's all.
It's all.
It's all.
Charita. Okay, this is then the three roots would arise in all consciousnesses that have what? Knowledge.
Knowledge, yeah.
So how many is that then?
4.
4.
Oh,
4, yeah.
associated with knowledge, yeah. 5,
Right.
6, 7, 8.
So
No.
it would be it would be 1, 2,
No.
No,
and
it's 5.
6.
1, 2, and yeah.
5.
1, 2,
Now,
5.
come to you.
Oh, it's
1, 2, 5, and 8.
No.
No, 1, 2, 5, 6.
5 and 6. Correct.
5 and 6.
5 and 6, yeah.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you, Sarita. Now that is the way. Okay, that is the way. Right? Now, just Chamari. Mukada Chamari, yes?
Yes, I was just saying the same. I sent the text.
Or
It's those with the Jnana Sampayuttam have all 3.
Good. Hari. Now, let me pick someone who could do Lettuce, would you like to do how many consciousnesses have 2 roots? Lettuce, are you with us? Probably not. Okay. Dr. Buddhika?
Oh.
Would you be able to do this other one for us?
With roots, is it?
Yeah. So
2 roots.
we need to know how many consciousnesses have 2 roots.
So 1.
First one.
Why did you pick the first one?
Because joy and with knowledge.
We are talking about now within these 8 consciousnesses, all consciousnesses except the rootless consciousnesses have up to 3 roots operating within them, right? Now Charita has told us, or we've sorted out, which of these 8 consciousnesses that we have discussed today within the beautiful consciousnesses have 3 roots, that is non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion, right? So there are 4 consciousnesses here with 3 roots. So how many consciousnesses have 2 roots, and what are they?
All right, so it's not first one, not the second one.
By process of elimination, okay.
I'm
All right, wonderful. Right. So then,
not the 5th one, not the 6th one. So it should be the other.
All right, but why?
3rd one,
Why?
4th one.
But why?
Dissociated from knowledge ones.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. Because of the disassociation from knowledge. Now, please remember, this is very important that you understand the roots, right? And you will understand why. Thank you very much, doctor, right? To both the doctors there, right? So this is very important to understand the effect of the roots within the consciousness, because it gives you a deeper understanding of where the consciousness comes from. Now that is specifically very important when it comes to even meditation, because when breaking down the consciousnesses into the deeper feelings of what the consciousnesses are, to understand the consciousnesses, this gives or plays a vital role and part, right? So let us move on. We will have enough of time to brush up on these things, right? Page number 47, right? We'll just read through guide to para 13 or verse 13. No, para 13, verse 13. The class of consciousness is divided into 8 types on the basis of 3 principles of dichotomization. One of the concomitant feelings. which in the 4 cases is joy, pleasant mental feeling, and 4 cases upekka, right? Neutral mental feeling. The second is present or absent of knowledge, and the third. So basically it's breaking down, right? Then we know what jnana sampayutta is. It is, here it says, knowledge comprehends things as they are. Yatha sabhavam, right? As things, knowledge comprehends things as they are, right? That is for those. Now, if we think that non-Buddhist are sort of not, now this is what it says, understanding the reality of what is going on. That is the important bit there, right? In the consciousness associated with knowledge, the word jnana refers to the mental factor of wisdom, panya chetasika, which also represents the root non-delusion, amoha, right? Consciousness is disassociated from knowledge, jnana vipayutta, lacks its factor of wisdom, but it does not involve ignorance. Now that is very important. Now, when I used to study also, I would think because it's jnana vipayutta, there is ignorance. No, there is no ignorance, right? There is no ignorance. It is just the fact that that wisdom does not arise in our mind at that specific moment, right? That specific moment. Now, it is like sometimes, sometimes you've studied something for so long, right? For example, now you've seen this happen to me so much. I think through this time that I've been sort of doing these programs, I sometimes forget the Pali words, right? And it's not that I've not studied them, it's not that I do not know them, but it's merely just the fact that I've forgotten them for this moment, but I would remember them later, or I've known them before, or something like that. Now that is what is to be understood, that there is no avidya, right? Ignorance or delusion, moha, which pertains only to unwholesome consciousnesses, right? Now, unprompted. According to the commentary, one does a good deed without prompting due to physical and mental fitness, good food and climate, as a result of having performed similar deeds in the past. Prompting occurs through inducement by another or personal deliberation. Personal deliberation. Now that is important. You can ponder over it, you can contemplate about it, right? And then do the act. It will still be something which is prompted, right? Something which is prompted. Now let us go down towards that same page, right? Now we are going to go through the experiences or the consciousnesses dealing with sense sphere resultant, right? Or sobana vipaka, right? Kama vachara vipaka chittas, right? Now, the first one being Somnasa Sagatam Jnana Sampayuttam Asankharakam Ekam, right? Somnasa, now this is, now if you notice, it is the same structure as that which is found within. Now memorizing it is then not difficult for you, right? So basically you just have to memorize 8 consciousnesses and you will know all the Sobana Chittas, right? All the Sobana Chittas, or beautiful consciousnesses. So all Sobana, I will just go through it. Ru, please read it for us, please. Do you have the book with you? You don't have the book, Ru? No, not even the desktop, not even the PDF?
Got it.
You have to get the PDF, Ru, right? Are you going to get it? Okay. Okay, maybe we'll give the chance to another and you can read the next time, okay? But get ready with the PDF. Darshi. Darshi, do you have the book with you?
Yes, yeah.
Wonderful, Darshi. Can you read it for us all, please? The Pali.
Somanassa sahagatam jnana sampayuttam asankarikam ekam. Somanassa sahagatam jnana sampayuttam sasankarikam ekam. Somanassa sahagatam jnana vipayuttam asankarikam ekam. Somanassa sahagatam jnana vipayuttam sasankarikam ekam. උපේක්ඛා සහගතම් ඥාන සම්පයුත්තම් අසංකාරිකම් ඒකම් උපේක්ඛා සහගතම් ඥාන සම්පයුත්තම් සසංකාරිකම් ඒකම් උපේක්ඛා සහගතම් ඥාන විප්පයුත්තම් අසංකාරිකම් ඒකම් උපේක්ඛා සහගතම් ඥාන විප්පයුත්තම් සසංකාරිකම් ඒකම් ති.
Wonderful, Darshi, wonderful. Thank you very much. Now, if we move down to page number 49, please, guide to verse 14, right? Sense sphere resultant consciousness is consciousness with roots, right? Sahetuka, Kama, Vachara, Vipaka, Chittana. As there are 8 wholesome types of consciousness, there are also 8 corresponding types of resultant consciousnesses. These 8 chittas are karmic effects of the sense sphere wholesome chittas. What does that mean? Now, the good karma that we have produced through the consciousnesses, through enacting, through verbal, physical, and mental means, right? Through verbal, physical, and mental means, through the first kusala, sobana, beautiful kusala chittas, this is a result. Now, this result can be experienced by over many lifetimes. It could be experienced in this lifetime or the next, or any lifetime leading up to the attainment of sainthood, right? So these are karmic effects of sense sphere wholesome chittas. Sense sphere wholesome chittas. These are the vipakas of the mundane sense sphere related wholesome that you have done, right? These are described as sahetuka, right? These are described as sahetuka with roots. Both the rootless wholesome resultants and rooted resultants are produced by the same 8 wholesome chittas, right? Both the rootless wholesome resultants and the rooted resultants are produced by the same 8 wholesome chittas. What does this mean, right? Remember, in the last class, what did we do? We did the rootless wholesome resultants, right? The rootless wholesome resultants, and today we are doing the sahetuka kusala vipaka, or the beautiful kama vachara chittas, vipaka chittas, or the beautiful resultant consciousnesses. These are both produced by the consciousnesses that we have done previously. What are they? The sobana kusala consciousnesses, or the beautiful wholesome consciousnesses. Do you understand, right? Now, what does this mean? Now, remember, when we produce a karma, now this energy, right? This energy that we produce in sort of doing or something which is good, we produce many. Sort of this energy can produce karmas which affect us in a big way. It also has weaker energies which then goes into supporting the function of seeing, smelling, tasting, feeling, right? Which we have, which falls under the rootless consciousnesses, right? Which falls under the rootless consciousnesses. So both of these consciousnesses, which are resultants of good karma, are produced by the good karma produced through the beautiful wholesome consciousnesses, right? Can I have a show of thumbs up if you understand? Okay. So many people do not understand. If you do not understand, can you use a clap emoji, please? Okay. All right. So no problem. Now, can we turn to page number 43, please? right? In page number 43, there is a table, right? The table of rootless chittas, right? The table of rootless chittas. Now, in the first section of the rootless chittas, 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 we see that it is unwholesome resultant, and then we see wholesome resultant, right? Now this section from consciousness number 8 to 15, which is the wholesome resultant, is produced by the beautiful or the kama vachara, the sense sphere, beautiful, wholesome consciousnesses, right? Now that is the consciousness that we have just completed, not the resultant, but the wholesome karma itself, where we went through the meditation, how the meditative examples. Now those 8 produce karma, right? Good karma, right? But in this good karma that is produced, with this good karma, for example, if I am to, for example, now let us say I have water in this bottle, right? This water that I have, right? I take it and I sort of aim it at something and I'm throwing it out, right? I'm aiming at something and throwing it out. A large chunk of water would probably hit where I'm aiming at. But then you also get little squirts of water, drops of water going about, isn't it? Right? Those little drops of water going about are these rootless resultants, because they are weak. They can't do any damage. Do you understand? The only thing that they can do is to help in the process of this seeing, hear, smelling, tasting, as we have discussed last week. Right? They are weak consciousness. They also do not produce new karma. Right? They do not produce new karma. They only are an experience of past karma that we have created. So even now, at this moment, all of you listening to Dhamma, what you are producing within yourself is beautiful, wholesome consciousnesses. One or more of the 8 consciousnesses that we have discussed, the consciousnesses that we have discussed with the examples of meditation. Those are the consciousnesses that arise in your mind while listening to Dhamma. So obviously this will help you in your spiritual practice also with regards to your future seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting, and all of those functions, allowing you to operate, which are rootless consciousnesses. Those resultants are also results of this kusala karma that you are producing. So because of what you are listening to, the Dhamma that you're listening to right now, because of this karma and the sort of the minor karmas which are created with this energy, you will be able to see, smell, hear, taste, and feel good, wholesome things in the future, right? Good, wholesome things in the future, right? That is what we are saying. Now, if you would quickly run down to page number 46, right? Page number 46, right? Now, those in page number 46, sense sphere, wholesome consciousnesses, you find the karma vachara, kusala, chittas 8. Now, this is the karma producing consciousnesses, right? Then you run down to page number 48, right? Page number 48. Now, these are the consciousnesses. Then you find the sense sphere resultant consciousness. Now, these are the results of the aforementioned page in page number 46, the sense sphere wholesome consciousness. Those are the results, the resultants, right? Now, can I have a show of hands of people who do not understand? Clap. Damsiri? Yes, Damsiri, why do you not understand? Yes. Buddhika, I'm going to come to you. Yeah. Damsiri, yes?
Bhante, I completely forgotten about the question. Okay, the question was actually how can you have a resultant with knowledge?
How can you have a resultant
or
knowledge?
With knowledge.
Okay.
Or without knowledge.
Okay. Okay. We will come to that. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Buddhika.
I think I'll have to go slowly again through this to grasp it. I'll probably read through it.
Yeah,
it's okay. Thank you. Thanks,
If you go through it, it is quite clear. Go through it, and if you don't understand the next class, please ask. Hari?
Yeah, thank you.
What about the others who use the clap emoji? If you still don't understand and would like to ask a question, Shriyani? Shriyani, are you clear on? Or
perhaps I too need to go through it slowly because I started late and I got my book also late. So therefore I need to go through.
Please go through. Please go through before the next class. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure you go through before the next class and get this sorted out. It is quite clear. It is nothing confusing. It is just that these kusala kammas that we are doing through the 8 kusala consciousnesses, wholesome consciousnesses, are the mother of both the ahetuka, rootless kusala resultants or wholesome resultants, as well as the beautiful sense sphere wholesome resultants, right? So I think it is just these different words that you're finding it confusing to sort of connect. But go through the book, it is clear, you will understand it for sure, right? Anyone else who would like to ask a question? All right. Dil, you have something to ask?
Yeah, but you know, in the previous.
By is it only the degree? Oh.
Delusion, which is moha.
Yes. So with regards to, so what is the difference between avidya and delusion? Yes. Avidya is a mother of delusion.
Yes, right. That's right. I said only the degree. That's what I said.
Yes, the word moha, no, it is not. Well, the word moha is more used in regards to relating to the level to which the avidya acts as a root of consciousness.
Yes, right.
Right.
This is like the 10 fetters, and avidya is the last one, the deepest.
Yes. So it is different degrees of avidya, and of course the function that they would enact at that moment in time, right? At that moment in time, that is what we are specifically referring to. That is why we have different words for maybe the same thing, but of course we can't also say it's the same thing because the functioning of these hindrances or whatever mental arisings are different at the different levels. For example, the avidya that would operate at an anusaya level is different to the moha that would operate in the degree of the roots, right? So it would be explained differently. The functions, the features, the manifestations are all different, right? And this becomes more clear as we sort of go ahead and we sort of create a deeper understanding of the different of Buddhism and how sort of the Buddha has broken down these different things, right? So then now the sense wave functional. All right. Now, with regards to, we'll come back to now Veera, right? We are coming to Veera now, right? Now, Veera asked a very pertinent question. How does Veera, if you don't mind? Resultant, yes. How does the resultant consciousness arise with knowledge and without knowledge when it is resultant? That is your question?
Yeah.
Right. So always remember, now we have studied or gone through two types of different resultants, vipakas. What are the two types? One which belongs within the rootless category, which is weak, which cannot produce karmas and that part of the consciousnesses. And we have now gone through that which is more powerful than the rootless, which is within the beautiful or the wholesome stage. If we take one more step forward, we also have within the Rupavacha realm, which is more meditative, we have the Kamma, we have the Vipaka, and then we have the functional. The functional, we'll forget about it. Those are for the Arahants, no, right? So we will just focus on the Kamma, the wholesome, and the resultant. The resultant is the Kamma Vipaka. Right now, you see, even in the jhanas, the first initiation of Kamma, right? The first initiation of the samadhi or the jhana happens to the Kamma. The enjoyment of the jhana and all of that now, because you had developed the jhana Kamma, now happens to the resultant. Do you understand now?
Yeah, it's a one-to-one relationship.
It won't be one-to, well, you could say that. Yes, you could say that.
Yeah.
And with regards to that specific example, yes, right? With regards to that specific example, now you are experiencing the energies of whatever kammas that you have created, enabling you to go into samadhi and all of that, right? You know, so that is how jnana sampayutta and all of that arises as vipaka. Right?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So that is, now Veera has done the Abhidhamma Sangha and all of that before, right? So some of you might not understand, but we will be going through it slowly. Be gentle with yourselves, read through the book. Make sure before you come to the class, read the book. Also something that I am going to, now Veera has done up a nice sort of poster, a spreadsheet of all consciousnesses. I will upload it onto our website where you can take a look at it. So go through the charts, go through all of those things, and also make your own charts, remember, right? Make your own charts, cut out A5 pages and stick it into the book with regards to those places that so you have a sort of a documented study program that you have gone through, so that you can refer it back. It is very important that you write and you sort of break down the Kama Vachara and the Moolas and all of this. Very, very important. But I will also be going through that journey with you in time to come. But for you at home, with your writing, all of that, do your own charts. That will help you to understand the Abhidhamma much, much more better, right? Now, the functional consciousnesses, similarly, now the functional consciousnesses are all those consciousnesses which will only, so when one attains Nibbana, those monks, when they would perform or do something good, now let us take the example of preaching Dhamma, right? That would be done with these functional consciousnesses. Now, page number 49, please. Right? Page number 49, I'm sorry. Right? Page number 49. Now these within the functional consciousnesses, one should understand now, a arhat moves, talks, behaves, preaches, does all of these things. These are all energies, but because there is no clinging within these energies, what happens? The consciousnesses or the energies that one as a arahant one creates is very weak and is unable to create rebirth. Is unable to create rebirth because there is no clinging. Right? So because there is no clinging and because there is no avidya and all of those mental hindrances, concomitant, etc., not concomitant, the hindrances, right? Because there is no clinging, the energy necessary to cling into samsara as an attachment which will allow you to be born again and again and again is now disrupted, because the energy for that patisandhi is now not created any longer, right? So that is what a functional consciousness or a kriya chitta is, right? We also call it kiriya, right? In Pali, it is called kriya or in Sinhala, Kiriya, right? So these consciousnesses are also very much the same as the consciousnesses before. Now proving to you, please look at page number 50, right? Please look at page number 50. Now you see, as an Arahant, there are many consciousnesses similar to the before. There are many consciousnesses disassociated from knowledge. What does that mean? What does that mean? That Arahants now, they can operate without knowledge, right? They can operate things, for example, they won't be comprehending every single thing. Just imagine how stressed, how sort of abnormal in a way it would be if you're comprehending every single thing that you're doing. So very much it is normal that an Arahant would have consciousness disassociated from knowledge, right? Disassociated from knowledge. You're not, when you're dissociate from knowledge. Now, does anyone have a question about that? Does a question mark arise in one's mind when I say, Arahants can have a disassociation of knowledge? A question should arise. No questions? Okay, I will ask a question then. Okay. Right? Then what about when the Buddha says that when one is enlightened, one spends every moment contemplating on the arising and the passing away of aggregates? Isn't there knowledge? Right? How can an Arahant, being vested in the practice to such an extent, have a consciousness that is disassociated from knowledge, right? Now, for example, now this is where it comes to understand the consciousness process, right? Now, initially, now, for example, now this water bottle is here, right? Now, I want to pick up the water bottle. Why? Because I want to drink from it, right? Now, to pick up the water bottle, to guide my attention there, to sort of put the knob up and to sort of drink from it, right? I know I want water. I'm thirsty, right? I am thirsty. I need some water. But that is the initial act of me telling myself to pick it up. There was knowledge there, but in the process of feeding it to myself, lifting it up, moving around, and then talking with you and all of these stuff, I wasn't contemplating on the benefits of drinking water. Do you understand? Right? The initial process would have mindfulness and awareness, but that does not mean, but then other processes go in, because these are a collection of a lot of processes that enables a person to see, hear, smell, taste, and act. Right? It is not just one consciousness. So, as for examples, we would use examples to say, a boy stealing an apple or a person meditating. But remember, these acts are results of millions of consciousnesses, right? Arising and passing away, simultaneously allowing that act to happen. Now, for example, if I am to see a man or a woman walking on the street, or any person walking on the street, first I would sort of see the color, the shape, then sort of the shape, the figure, then the name, whether it's a human, an animal, or a man, a woman, a tall man, a tall woman, a short man, a short woman, or a person, all of these things. So these processes, it is said, for a mere identity recognition to happen, it takes about 5 mind processes to go on. One mind process has 17 consciousnesses, and so 5 of those processes for us to understand or to be able to even comprehend a person. So just imagine, for this whole act of stealing to happen, to look at everywhere, whether someone is going to catch me, what is the right moment, all of these things. Just think about how many consciousnesses it takes for all of that to happen, right? So with that, please understand that there can be moments where an Arahant, right, where he has already contemplated and finished, Now what is happening? He is in another process which allows him to do something else with the object, right? But these examples that we are using, mundane examples that we are using, are just to sort of understand the nature of the consciousness, not the actual process by which it would be necessarily used. And that process will become clear when we do the chapter on Chitta Viti, right? Do we understand, right? So, do you have any other questions that you would like to ask before we stop for the day? Right. So, are we then okay? Samantha. Yes, Samantha?
Yeah, I just want to, just a general question, Bhante. You know, this wholesome and unwholesome consciousnesses. So you do this, wholesome, kammas rather, not consciousness. So you do all this throughout your lifespan. So at the time of death, the net resultant of these kammas, that will propel you, decide what your next birth would be. So, or is it there's also the case of where, is it the last thought moment? Now, say if you've done a series of kusala kammas, but at the time of death, and you did one akusala kamma, and at the time of death, you thought of this akusala thing, kamma, then your rebirth will be, not in a wholesome state.
Yeah.
Where, and vice versa, if you've done like a whole series of akusala kammas, but your last the thought at the death would be a kusala kamma thought, then you can be born in a wholesome state.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't seem to be very fair, because should it not be the net result of the whole thing throughout your lifespan, what you've done?
That is right. Who are we going to pick it up with?
Sorry?
Yes, it is not fair. But what to do, Samantha?
Yeah, so I spent my whole lifetime doing kusala kamma, and then okay.
Exactly. I think there are so many examples of it is mostly to, that is why the Buddha says, right? That is why the Buddha says to not do unwholesome, to sort of live and to always progress in a path of to not do unwholesome, to progress in a path of wholesome, right? It is not fair, right? Kamma, that is the way that karma operates, is a very sort of complex process that the Buddha has sort of said that it is achintaniya, which is incomprehensible by the karma niyaya, or the way the law of karma operates is incomprehensible by a mundane man, and how to sort of see what the connection is. Right, what the connection is. So it usually depends on the energy produced, whilst we entail in the act of karma, right? In the act of karma, whether it be a good thing or a bad thing, because as you know, for example, if I am to take this cloth, now this is cotton, right? And I'm going to sort of rub it on my, it doesn't feel bad, it's not silk, but it's still, it's a bit rough, but still it doesn't feel bad. But you take something coarse like a sandpaper and you do it, or you take a very cheap material and you do it, then, I might very much scratch myself. That is because akusala is very gross, it's rough, it hurts, it sort of creates damage, right? That is why akusala, unwholesome by nature, is destructive and dangerous, right? Because of that, the kusalas are soft. They're soft because it doesn't hurt anything. It's peaceful, right? And I think we have many examples that we could equate into that. That is why we have to reduce, or we have to get rid of these unwholesome tendencies that are sort of manifesting within us. That is the importance of this practice, right? But it is not to us to sort of question karma, but rather to sort of mend our lives or change our life patterns in a way that we are more inclined to doing, performing, and living in mind, body, and speech within wholesome. Right? Shirani, you had something to add?
Yes, I actually want to know.
Sorry, I lost Shirani.
So
Hi, Shirani.
sometimes.
That, please.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
I've been doing meditation quite a while now, because some monks say you don't have to learn Abhidhamma to do meditation. But is that true? Or is it, I find it is very interesting to know where different stages where you are and how you are achieving your practice.
Well, clearly they have not learned Abhidhamma. I would... Right. I would very much say, I mean, like I mentioned on the first class, Abhidhamma, what is mentioned within the Abhidhamma is the knowledge necessary for Namarupa Paricheda Jnana. If one is to progress and to sort of overcome Namarupa Paricheda Jnana and work upwards, then how is one able to do so without this specific knowledge, right? So this is very much necessary. Of course, would it be a requirement that I complete all the 7 books of Abhidhamma? No, I would say no to that. You don't need to do all the 7 books of Abhidhamma, but you need to know Chitta, Chetasika, Rupa, Nibbana. Right? At least to the level of Dhamma Sangani, I would say. Right? So at least I would say bare minimum is the Abhidhammata Sangha. Right? Bare minimum. Right? But what the Dhamma Sangani does is it brushes everything and polishes it up for you. Right? So you are more clear about how it works. We will do it maybe after this. But basically you need this. So I know that a lot of monks now, the Thai tradition, they don't really go into Abhidhamma as much. The Burmese and the Sri Lankan traditions are very much into Abhidhamma. But these are, I would say that these are more sort of personal preferences and those coming down from traditions. The Dhamma has been sort of maintained and sort of protected and passed down through the years through monks, Mahatheras, who have had more understanding of what the Sangha and what the Sangha needs for further practice. So I would say if the Mahatheras and the ancient monks of the past took it within themselves to sort of pass this down and thought and knew the importance of it, I would say, who are we to disregard it? Right? That is what I would say. Who are we to disregard it? Right? So, yes, Buddhika.
Bhante, may I ask, Nihal? Yeah. We're at the very beginning, when we discussed the sense sphere wholesome consciousness, the 8 wholesome consciousnesses, for the examples, for clarification, you sort of were very, very much particular about relating it to meditation and the various processes. Why is it not looked at more on day-to-day activities? That how they transfer.
The reason that I was specific on the meditative part is because we had done the day-to-day activities, and I thought, and surely it was something new to sort of go into the sort of meditative aspect of it. But yes, you can very much apply it to the day-to-day parts as well, right? The day-to-day parts, I would say, with what we have done with regards to the 12 unwholesome consciousnesses, the day-to-day parts would be quite clear and quite sort of easy to sort of expound on. The meditative part was a little bit challenging. That is why we did the meditative part today. But of course, it can apply to both the meditative and the mundane, right? Very much, right? Meditative and the mundane, right? All right, Nihal. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining in and tuning into the session. Please read your books, write your notes, make your charts, do all of that. You can do a little bit of extra reading. Actually, if you are interested, you can do a little bit of extra reading. If you have time for it, do a bit of extra reading. Be prepared for the next class. Make sure that you do your reading. That will help you to sort of grasp and to ask questions and understand deeper. It is very important that you keep it up and sort of keep yourself going, right? I wish you all the very best. Have a beautiful rest of the evening. I will see you all tomorrow. Also, just an update that I'm excited to share with you. I have found an excellent professor from Oxford to talk to us about compassion and neuroplasticity, right? Which is absolutely amazing. And he would be sharing with us about the MBCT, MBSR, CBT techniques are now in the world. It's quite old now. Right? It's old now. Now we have newer techniques introduced to us, which are more compassion based, right? Which are more compassion based. And I think it is very much necessary. And these are all sort of derived through Buddhist practices, right? Although they would not speak about it much. But this professor who is going to come speak to us is also a long-term Zen practitioner and a good friend of mine as well. So his talk is not going to be this week, but the week following. Right. So on Sunday, so same time, I will be putting up the advertisements. I was just excited about it, so I wanted to share with all of you. So have a great evening. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care and goodbye. Right.